What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video we are finally doing the full review. We did a live first impressions on this fragrance, but I've spent more time with it and I gotta say it's quite impressive. I've never tried Arabians Tonka from Montal, and I don't think I need to now because this is such a great fragrance. We're talking about Noir d'Arabie and the Pandora Scents line from Paris Corner. Now this was sent out to me by the good folks at Aroma Concepts, but that has zero to do with what I'm going to think about the fragrance. If you've been here before, you already know that, but I do have to let you guys know it was sent out to me for review at my own discretion. So we're going to dive into this, see what's what, and see if it's worth even checking out for you guys. Stay tuned. So I'm going to give this a spray here on the test strip because the opening on this is beautiful. So immediately you get oud rose. There's no denying it's oud rose, but it's a sugary, vanillic sweet oud rose. Bright and fresh. Like I said, sugary sweet, a lot of vanilla. I believe there's even sugar cane in here, and a little bit of this like ambery, musky tone as it dries, but it's not super spicy, but you will get a nice little spicy hit in the beginning. And I don't get a drastic change. So it's relatively linear. It doesn't develop a whole lot from start to finish. Like I said, a lot of oud rose here. But sugar, straight up sugar sweet smell, not just vanilla. Because it is a tonka bean note. It is a clone of a tonka fragrance. But it's weird because it's like silky smooth yet very sugary sweet. So you have to like sweet. It's not your run-of-the-mill oud rose fragrance. This is sweeter than most of them because of the combination of the sugar cane. I believe sugar cane is the note that's in here with the tonka bean. It's just overdone. You got to like sweet fragrances, and the oud here is not super funky. The sweetness really kills a lot of any of that funk that would be there from the agarwood. But it also makes for this like jammy raspberry like textured rose smell. That's really the star of the show here because of the way the sugary sweetness affects it. It affects it greatly and makes for a lovely, if there's ever been such a thing as an intoxicating oud fragrance. This, great evening wear. Just a beautiful aroma. On skin, it really opens up, though it doesn't develop a whole lot, whether on paper or on skin. It stays pretty much the same throughout. Again, that saffron doesn't really offer much here, aside from maybe a little bit more of an ambery facet. I don't get much of a leathery feel from it. It doesn't really spice it up a whole lot. But oud, rose, sugarcane, tonka bean, a little bit of amber musk in the deep dry down, but that doesn't really come into play till many, many hours into it. Just a beautiful, delicious fragrance, which is kind of weird to say about an oud rose fragrance, but I mean, it is. It's delicious. In regards to performance, great performer, as you would expect with this type of scent profile. 10 to 12 hours, easy in longevity. Projection, pretty overwhelming. Be mindful of the sprays. If you're the heavy spray type, you're choking everybody out around you, including yourself probably. If you don't, wear your nose out and go nose blind, it's going to be super cloying. It's all about wearing experience for me, and this is a 4 spray to 5 spray if I'm really feeling frisky type of thing, because 5 sprays is really, really strong on my skin. Projections beyond arm's reach, pretty moderate to heavy side. If you spray a little heavier than that beyond the 5 spray range, it depends on your skin chemistry, obviously, but then it starts getting into that heavy beastly type of projection. Sillage on it's definitely on the moderate side. I get whiffs of it the whole life, easily into 9-10 hours of the life of the fragrance. It's hitting me randomly to remind me it's there. For the first several hours, though, you can constantly smell yourself every time you move. The first few hours, though, it radiates off of the skin. This is, pretty much a beastly fragrance throughout. So that's why I say, depending on your setting, be mindful of the sprays. But we're all big boys and girls here. Do whatever the hell you want. But for me personally, it's a 4 to 5 spray thing in a well-circulated area. Tight conditions probably would dial it back a little bit more. But a more open area, I'd be more 4 to 5 spray because stuff's strong. My final thoughts on Noir d'Arabie from Paris Corner. I think this is a good one. This is really good. Like I said, even for comparison's sake, I really don't care to get Arabians Tonka because this is just so good. Do I really need to spend the money, even if I could get it for, let's say, 70 bucks? Do I really need to do that? 70, 80, 90 bucks, 100 bucks, whatever it's going for from discounters? I don't think I really need to do that, because this by itself, take being a clone of anything out of it, it's just a damn good fragrance from start to finish. The way it smells, the wearing experience, the performance it gets, you got to be mindful of because it's actually really, really strong. I love that it's a sugary sweet based oud rose fragrance. I'm not going to say it's the most unique scent I've ever smelled, but compared to most of the oud rose combinations I have, it stands out because of the sugary sweetness, which I think warrants it to be right there, bordering just absolutely outstanding with a great 8.5 out of 10 rating. I think that's a phenomenal spot to put it at because it is slightly on the more situational side. This is not an everyday wear type of thing for me. This Middle Eastern style isn't an everyday thing. It's a situational thing. I think this particular scent profile, great in the evenings in the cooler weather. This is a stunner for that type of stuff. Similar situations where I would want to wear like honey oud from Montal, for example. Very rich and thick, oud fragrance with some sweetness. Cooler weather, evenings, that's kind of where I would put this one as well. But definitely an 8.5 out of 10. I think that's the perfect rating for this because it's great. Well, that's my thoughts and feelings on Noir d'Arabie Pandora Scents line from Paris Corner. Once again, thank you so much, Aroma Concepts, for sending this my way. This is definitely a great release for the house for Paris Corner. Man, it's some good stuff. If you like sweet, you owe it to yourself to try it. You gotta like oud rose. Can't forget that, but very sweet. If you're not a fan of, let's say you do like oud rose, but you don't like super sweet fragrances, you'll want to avoid this one. It's definitely a very sweet fragrance, almost like a higher quality designer oud rose because of the sweetness, because a lot of modern designers are just so sweet. It's weird. The quality's a bit better than most designers, I find. Not quite on the luxury niche level, but pretty damn good, I have to say. They did a good job here. I like this fragrance quite a bit. As the weather gets cooler and cooler, I'll slide it into the rotation from time to time. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have tried this one? What do you think about it? Do you have this and Arabians Tonka? Do you find it to be very close or pretty different or slight different nuances? Definitely sound off below if you happen to have both. Again, I like this so much, I honestly don't even care to try Montal's version. I don't think it's that serious that I need it because this is just so good on its own. Until next time, I will say if you get your hands on this and you give it a spray now, you'll probably end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.